What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 24 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the best 99 overall Division Dynasty cards to use on your MUT 24 squad and the best abilities to use on these cards because they get a ton of 0 AP discounts. They got charged up X Factors. They got X Factors treated as abilities for 1 and 0 AP. A lot going on, but they are easily some of the best cards in the game, and I got to use a bunch of them, so I have a somewhat of an idea of how good these cards are now after several games, and we're going to talk about all 8 of them. So number one, to get these cards, you can buy them off the auction house. I think the price eventually will start to trickle down just a little bit over the weekend, but they're generally going, I think, between 900 and a million coins, and you can also build out their sets. So all of the set requirements are somewhat the same. It's going to require any 2 96 or 97 overall cards from any promo, and then any 3 96 overall cards from that specific division. So if you want Evan Ingram, you need 3 96 overall AFC South Division Dynasty standouts, and to get those standouts, there's specific sets for each division. And if you take a look at these sets here, for example, the AFC North, you need 3 94 or 95 overall cards from any promo. So try to use what you have in your binder. I know a lot of people, as soon as they get cards they don't want, they either quick sell them or list them on the auction house. Me personally, everything that I earn from free packs, competitive pass, field passes, you name it, I usually just let them go to the binder. I was able to build like 4, almost 5 of these 99 overall cards with just stuff that was sitting in my binder. I barely had to spend any coin. So make sure you go do that, and also look back at older sets here, because if you have a lot of like 89, 90, 91 overall cards, you may be able to build those up to like 94 and 95s, and then use those 94 95s to build out the 96s, and then use the 96s into the champion sets. I'm going to throw up a tweet from my guy Tap Mikey over on Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow. Very knowledgeable dude when it comes to Madden Ultimate Team. He sent out this tweet earlier yesterday with a bunch of different ways to take your binder trash and upgrade those cards to higher overalls to eventually turn them into content that you can use to build out these 99 overall cards. We're going to cover all 8 of the cards, but I'm going to start with the 5 99 overalls that I have on my team, show you the abilities that I'm using, and then we'll talk about the remaining 3. Marvin Harrison Jr. is an LTD, so we don't want to officially count him in this video, but he is easily the best wide receiver in the game, gets any team chem. He gets like 6 or 7 0 AP abilities, including Yak 'em Up, treated as an ability instead of an X Factor, and that's definitely a trend that I have on my offense. So all 3 of my receivers I got right now, OBJ, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Marvin Harrison Sr., Syracuse legend, they all have Yak 'em Up, whether it's an X Factor that's charged up or an ability that costs 0 or 1 AP. And the same thing is going to go for my tight end in Evan Ingram. I love this card. He's honestly been my favorite out of the 5 that I have so far. By now, most of you probably already know the attributes on these cards. I think the biggest concern would be the 97 speed. It's still fast enough. It still gets the job done. I love that he has 94 run block on there. So ability-wise, he comes with a baked-on evasive. He gets honorary lineman, which is really huge coming from a tight end. So this is going to help you in the run game. There's so many 0 AP ability buckets that I was just picking anything at this point. So I went with deep out elite and then short in elite on him. You could also go mid out elite if he has that option in there. Route tech is probably the number one, ability that you would probably want to throw on there. But really all he needs is this Yak 'em Up. So it is going to cost you 1 AP, but you basically break the first catch or break the first tackle after a catch. And I can't tell you how many times that this ability or X Factor has gotten me first downs on 4th and 9, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11, just simply throwing it to the flat, getting a little bit of yardage running upfield, and then either using a juke move, and he does have evasive, or breaking a tackle because of Yak 'em Up. So I really recommend this card because he's tall, he's fast, he can run block, he obviously gets a ton of abilities, but Yak 'em Up for 1 AP to have it for the entire game it's a game changer, and it can open up your offense a ton. Don't be afraid to check down the football because you're going to pick up a lot of yards between having this and evasive. I think many would say Aiden Hutchinson is the #1 must-have card, and I might agree with that, but I do want to show you through 7 games, he got 1 sack and 4 tackle assists, 0 solo tackles. he did not do too much for me. Now, there's two different routes that you can go with his abilities. Number one, it's the X Factor slot. About midway through, I changed over to Unstoppable Force because he wasn't getting any pressure, and that really didn't seem to help him at all. But the main reason people are going to love this card and why I would recommend it is because you get Momentum Shift for 0 AP, and it's charged up so it starts on. This is going to knock all of the X Factors of your opponents off, and this is a game changer here if you're tired of dealing with like Omaha and all of these other good X Factors. Now, there's so many good cards right now that have X Factors treated as an ability, so that's not going to impact those. But overall, if you can afford this card, I'm going to recommend Momentum Shift over Unstoppable Force. From the testing that I did, I went with Tackle Supreme, No Outsiders, Defensive Rally, Edge Threat Elite, Double or Nothing, and then I used Dual Threat in this last bucket. This did not help with pass rush at all, so more than likely I'll go to Avalanche or maybe Lurk Artist now that I've tested Dual Threat enough on this card, and it just didn't make any impact. But overall, not so much of a great pass rusher, but the Momentum Shift alone might be worth the coin on this card. Patrick Mahomes is a very good quarterback. Is he better than Tom Brady? Probably not, because Brady just gets a couple extra 0 AP buckets. But generally speaking, this Mahomes card is right there, not too far behind. And the main reason is because he's more of a scrambling threat, because he does get the Truz X Factor. And if you take a look at the ability setup I have here, I think it's costing me 2 AP, but we got the Baked On Fearless. You get Gunslinger for 0. He has a Slinger 2 release, which is a very good release. It's not bad. It's not better than traditional 4, but with the Gunslinger ability, it's fine. I have no complaints about it. I got Pocket Deadeye on here, Dashing Deadeye. Again, another situation where he's got so many 0 AP choices. I was just trying things out. I don't even know if these ones work or not, but I got them on there. I went with Pass Lead Elite for 2 AP and then Master Tactician for 0. So all of this together is costing me a total of 2 AP. Again, Brady is probably better ability-wise, but the fact that Mahomes is a little bit faster and he's more of a scrambling threat with the Truz X Factor, this is a very good card. I could make an argument for him being better than Brady, but I'm going to give Brady the slight nod, but this is a good card. Charvarius Ward is probably my second favorite card out of all 8 that dropped because of the abilities. He can play in pretty much any defense, any type of scheme. I'm not using an X Factor on him, but you do have the ability to put universal coverage charged up on there if you want. The reason I'm not doing that is because he also gets universal coverage as an ability, and it's 0 AP. Now, a lot of people are using Bottleneck and pressing a ton. I have it on Darrelle Revis. I don't know how much it works, so I would recommend universal coverage. Again, because he gets so many good discounted abilities, it might not even be necessary to have a short route KO or a deep route KO or any knockout abilities because we already have universal coverage, but I just threw them on there because the alternate option is I could go like inside shade and outside shade instead of the knockout abilities. I do have one step ahead. I run exclusively man coverage, so these abilities are going to work for my defense. If you run a lot of zone, you should be getting the knockouts with the universal coverage, but he's got the mid-zone KO here if you want. He's got deep out zone KO. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the deep zone KO, but again, universal coverage should handle all that. And then it's also very important, make sure you activate the secure tackler in this bucket because you will get it for 0 AP. Ryan Neal has been fairly disappointing, unfortunately. Really, really good attributes, 6'3", 98 speed, good coverage attributes. He's also going to come with a baked on pick artist. You do have the option to go with universal coverage as an X Factor, but again, similar to the Larry Wilson Ultimate Legend and the Charvarius Ward that we just showed you, he gets universal coverage as an ability. For him, it's going to cost you 1 AP, so I got that one on. Again, a little bit of an overkill with the knockouts, but I did put medium route KO and deep route KO on him. I put Acrobat here because there's just not much else that I need to choose from. Maybe we can try the inside and outside shade instead. If you're not using Film Study, definitely put that on one of these players because they pretty much all get it. And then again, you want to make sure you have secure tackler. So you can use this card as a box safety, as a high safety because of the universal coverage. But all of these cards just have tremendous flexibility with the abilities, this is just the setup that I went with. As long as you got universal coverage, pick artist, and secure tackler, I think the rest of them are really up to you on what you go with. The final 3 cards are cards that I don't have and I haven't used, but we're still going to talk about them. So Odafe Oweh is probably one of the best pass rushers in the game. He's probably better than Aiden Hutchinson because of the abilities. Aiden's going to be better because of the momentum shift. I don't believe that Odafe Oweh gets it. He has it as a regular X Factor, but it's not charged up, so that's not really going to be helpful. Now what he does get is Unstoppable Force, which is a great pass rushing X Factor. He gets Dual Threat if you want to user him and make him a pass rusher. So you have those options there, but I think more importantly, you get Colossus treated as an ability for 1 AP. I haven't had luck with Colossus, but everybody else loves it, so I'm going to recommend that as one of the things you need to equip on this card. It comes in with a baked-in film study, and then after that, it's up to you. I would definitely make sure you get Tackle Supreme on this card. You can go Edge Threat Elite, and I'm pretty sure he gets Double or Nothing somewhere in here for 0 AP. Yeah, so I would throw Double or Nothing on there. Again, the rest is up to you. If you want to throw an Under Pressure on there, that's not bad. No Outsiders probably isn't terrible. He can get it in this bucket for 0 AP. But all in all, I would try out, if you're going to use this card, I'd try the combination of a Charge Up Unstoppable Force and Colossus. I feel like that combination would make him pretty unblockable. Terrell Bernard's going to be a really versatile user middle linebacker. Now, he only has 96 speed, which isn't terribly slow, but at this point in the year, it feels a little slow, right? I still think that he's going to be okay. He gets a baked-in Lurk Artist. I would probably recommend either Reinforcement on this card or Dual Threat for a middle linebacker user. Dual Threat's probably going to be slightly better, and that one is charged up for 0 AP. In the very last bucket, you got Reinforcement here if you want to apply that as well. Might as well. It is 0 AP. One step ahead in Avalanche. I'm not a big fan of Avalanche, but if he is a user, I could understand why you want to go this route as well. I wouldn't put one step ahead on here. And then for all of the other discounts, again, definitely go with Tackle Supreme. And even if you have Dual Threat on there, I would recommend in this bucket to apply the mid-zone KO for 0 AP. Everything in between is really up to you. As long as you got Tackle Supreme and mid-zone KO, you should be good to go. And of course, you have that option to go with Film Study in like most of the buckets and most of these players. You only need Film Study on one player on defense, and you have several opportunities to do so. We mentioned Marvin Harrison at the beginning of the video. If it wasn't for him, CeeDee Lamb would be the best wide receiver in the game. And I think when it comes down to it, Marvin Harrison Jr., Marvin Harrison Sr., and then CeeDee Lamb are the top 3 wide receivers in the game. Obviously amazing attributes here, but it's all about the abilities. Baked in route tech, I wouldn't worry about any of the X factors here, even though they are charged up, because in the last bucket, we talked about how great Yak 'em Up is. Well, he gets it for 1 AP. It's 100% worth the 1 AP. And then after that, you can go with whatever you want. The possibilities are almost endless. The one that I would highly, highly recommend, though, is make sure that you do have Evasive. As long as you have Evasive, Yak 'em Up on there, and the baked-in Route Technician, the rest is up to you. If you need, a Route Apprentice because you're not using a Hot Route Master or a Master Tactician quarterback, go that route. But this is right below Marvin Harrison as far as the best receivers in the game. Marvin Harrison Jr., that is, and he's going to be much, much less expensive than the LTD Harrison Jr. So all of the cards are amazing. It's truly hard for me to break down like the best one and put them in order 1 through 8, but the one I've had the most success with definitely was Evan Ingram and Charvarius Ward. Patrick Mahomes, the lone quarterback, so he's going to be special there. I feel like CeeDee Lamb's going to give you kind of the same impact as a receiving threat as Evan Ingram does. Odafe Oweh is a better pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson, but Aiden Hutchinson gives you the momentum shift, which is going to knock out a lot of X factors on your opponent's team. Terrell Bernard's probably the least desirable one out of all of them. And Ryan Neal, I still need a little bit more time to truly judge him because I love everything on the card. He just didn't go crazy or produce a lot over the 7 games that I used all of these cards. So let me know which ones you guys picked up. Let me know which ones you're having success with. But those are the best 99 overall Division Dynasty champions. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.